Hello, luxury agents. We're continuing our discussion today about working smarter versus working harder to make ourselves more effective as luxury real estate specialists. And we talked about a ton of stuff so far over the past couple of videos. The power of positive questions, affirmations, focusing on positive things rather than negative things. And one thing I want to talk about today is sort of an expression I've been using for many, many years, which is basically Me Too real estate. Put the Me Too in quotes, Me Too real estate. You know, part of the problems we have in real estate in general and luxury real estate specifically is that people see us as being generic. People think that all real estate agents offer the same services, do the same things, and it doesn't really matter which one they hire to sell their property. They all do that sort of that 5P marketing plan, which is, put an ad in the paper, put the house in MLS, put a sign in the yard, pat the seller on the back and pray that it will sell. So we need to break out of that mold of Me Too real estate and worry about copying every single other agent who's in the marketplace. And one way to start to think about that is through the whole concept of, marketing through print media, otherwise known as advertising. Have you noticed in the paper that all real estate ads seem to look the same? And we know from NAR statistics that only 3 and maybe as many as 8% at the most of potential buyers find their homes through an ad. And one of the biggest problems with people who call up on ads, prospective buyers, is that ad callers are really late in the process of looking for a property. The beauty and the double-edged sword of internet leads are, especially in the high end, is that they're oftentimes very early in the process, and because they're maybe 18 months out from actually making a decision to pull the trigger to buy a piece of high-end real estate, we tend to think they're not that serious and maybe let them fall through the cracks. We have to understand that an internet lead needs to be nurtured for a longer period of time than an ad call lead needs to be nurtured. But the problem with an ad call is that, again, that person is late in the process and they really don't want to give up information because they think you really want to sell the property that's being advertised rather than actually trying to help them find the property they really want. So callers, especially in the high end, are very reluctant to give up their personal information on an ad call. On an internet lead also, but on an ad call especially, because they think you want to sell them that property. And the greatest way in working smarter to get around that little hurdle with the caller is to simply ask them this question. Mr. Ad Caller, if it turns out this is the wrong property for you, would you like to hear about others? When you ask that question, would you like to hear about others if this is not the right property for you, you totally erase the pre-recorded tape they have in their minds about whether that you're trying to sell them that particular property. So try that question out the next time you have an ad caller, and I think you'll find that once you ask that question, they're going to be more willing and more forthcoming with the information and the questions you ask of them. So there's one more step in working smarter versus working harder. We'll continue our series next time. Until then, make it a great weekend. Don't forget, if you bought my book, Selling Luxury Homes, you are entitled to 20 minutes one-on-one on the phone with me. You can get your most pressing luxury real estate question answered. Until next time, make it a great week.